guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below so that you don't miss an upload. So guys, I'm super excited for today's video because I'm finally giving you guys my full everyday makeup routine. It is pretty simple, but it still looks like very put together, and just I love the way it turned out today. I've been doing this makeup routine for a few months now and it just works wonders for me, and it actually does not take me that long. I would say on a regular day it could take me 15 minutes, but if I'm really taking my time like I did today, it takes me 25 to 30 minutes, which is not bad at all. So I really like it. I hope you guys will like it too, and I hope that it is helpful for you guys. So without further ado, let's just get right on into the makeup routine. Okay, so my number one tip with doing my makeup is definitely skin prep. I already did do all of my skincare and prep my skin. I like to prep with really hydrating products so that my makeup stays on all day. It's guaranteed to look glowy and it doesn't dry out my skin. So I use pretty hydrating products, and now I'm gonna go in with my makeup. I do want to say I don't do eye makeup, but I have been like low-key getting into it. So if you guys want to see another video of me like trying different eye makeup looks and like teaching myself more how to do eye makeup, let me know, because I have so many eyeshadow palettes and I really want to get into eye makeup. Okay, so step number one for me is always brows. I have two brow products that I always reach towards. I either go for my Refi brow gel, which is so cool because it has this brow gel and it's more of like a brow glue gel than like a regular brow gel, so it's like a little bit more sticky, and then you just pull the cap off and it has this little applicator thing to brush them up, and I love this. But I also love my Anastasia brow freeze, which again is like more of like a glue type of brow thing, like it holds your brows in place more than a typical gel would. And then I just use the Anastasia brush, so I really just switch off between them in no particular order. Like I love them both so much and I just reach towards whichever one. So today I'm actually going to go in with the Anastasia brow freeze just because I haven't used it in a few days, and I've been using my Refi one recently, so I want to go in with this. And you can just tell it literally just sculpts my brows right into place. I do want to say too that I recently have been getting my brows threaded, which I've always gotten them threaded, but I've been getting them threaded and tinted, and it's been such a game changer for me. So when I go to work and stuff, I don't even usually fill them in, I just gel them. But the tinting is actually fading a little bit, so I might add a little bit of color on them once the gel dries down. So after I gel them, I will take this flat side, which I already did on this brow, so I'll show you on my left side, and I just pull them down into place, and then I go over the top and just kind of straighten them out a little. I do like the fluffy brow look. That is definitely what I go for. However, I still like them to look clean at the same time, so I feel like I do a good job at that. And then I'm just going to take a Q-tip, and this is like a really weird step I do, but using like stronger brow gels like this that are more of like brow glues can tend to like leave your skin a little bit sticky, and obviously I don't want my makeup to apply weird on top, so I just take a Q-tip, and I'm kind of gross, I just go like this instead of like going and wetting it in the sink, and I just wipe all the excess glue off. If there's too much anywhere on my brow, I'll do that as well. So I might just like go in right here and just get a little bit of it off, just like that. Okay, so we'll deal with the brows a little bit more later because I'm probably going to end up wanting to fill them in a little bit, but typically when my brows are like freshly tinted, I will literally just be done after that. Sometimes I will go in with concealer, but for now, a little bit different today. And look, I'm already playing with this brow and it already moved, so because I didn't let it dry. You have to let the gel dry. It's the number one tip, because then they won't move. All right, now it's time to prime my skin. I have a few primers that I really like to use, but recently I've been going in with either Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer or the Refi Glow and Sculpt Primer. This one's really cool. I feel like Refi's products are like really coolly made. Also, don't mind my nail. I literally like broke my entire nail off, so I can't even apply an acrylic on top of it right now, so we're just gonna deal with it. I've been wearing a band-aid over it for days, but anyways, you're just supposed to like squeeze it out, and then it's like a roller ball and it rolls onto your face. I'm actually gonna use this one today. I've been reaching towards it a lot more recently, but the Milk Makeup is probably my favorite primer formula because it's very tacky and my makeup literally lasts all day when I use this. This is also great. It's just not as tacky as the Milk Makeup one is, so I guess if you like a less tacky one, you might like this, but I just really like the applicator, and this feels really nice in the skin. So I'm just going to squeeze a little bit and it comes out like that, and then I just roll it right onto my skin. I do have some other primers that I really like. e.l.f. has such amazing primers. If you're looking for ones that are a little bit less expensive, their Poreless Putty Primer is amazing. They also have a dupe of the Hydro Grip Primer, which is, I think it's called something, I don't know. I don't know exactly what it's called off the top of my head. I just don't reach towards that much. I also love this one, which is actually right in front of me, so I'll show you. The NYX Marshmallow Primer. I love this one too. My makeup applies so nicely on top of this. So next, I've been loving going in with this glowy serum from Say. It's their, I think it's called their Glowy Super Gel in the shade Star Glow. And I'll honestly only take the littlest bit of this and I'll just rub it all over my face because I love my skin to look glowy, and it literally makes my skin look so glowy, and I love it. I know some people literally will just use this as a primer, but I like to use my primer first and then put this on top. So that's just what works best for me. And the glow does not stop there. I like to go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter, but I also have a dupe for that, which is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. This is so similar to the Charlotte Tilbury one. I will say though, I do like the Charlotte Tilbury one better because I like the applicator. It's a little bit smaller, this applicator, than the e.l.f. one, which I'll show you the e.l.f. one in a second. And I feel like it glides on my skin a lot better. Whereas the e.l.f. one's super chunky, and I feel like it's harder to like get a lot of product onto this brush, which you'd think with like the bigger brush it would. But I don't know, I just feel like it applies a lot better with the smaller applicator on this. But then again, this one is so much more expensive than the e.l.f. one, so I feel like product wise, I would say go with the e.l.f. one because the e.l.f. one is just such an affordable option. So obviously you guys can see I'm just applying this all over my face. Also, Maybelline has something similar to this, the 4-in-1 Perfector? No. Is that what it's called? I don't remember what it's called. I don't think I have it here. Yeah, their 4-in-1 Glow Perfector. It's pretty similar to this as well. But anyways, I just applied this all over my face. I'm gonna put a little bit more right here. I love this stuff. It is really expensive though. I haven't blended this out yet because I'm about to tell you guys the next step. For my everyday makeup routine, I definitely don't go in with foundation, but if I was going like out, I definitely would do foundation after the steps. So after this step, I would blend this all out and then I would apply foundation. However, on a daily basis when I go to work or just go out to like shopping or whatever, I'm not gonna wear foundation. So what I'll do is I'll actually use a skin tint. So I'll take this Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint with SPF 40 and I'll just take it as a dropper and I'll just apply a little bit over here, a little bit down here, like just a very minimal amount because I don't need a lot of coverage. And then I'll just blend that in with the Flawless Filter, and I just use this IT Cosmetics brush. This is the best makeup brush ever. It's their Heavenly Luxe Complexion Perfection brush, and I love this brush so much. It's the best foundation brush I've ever used. I also really like using my Refi brush. If you guys know Monet, everyone knows she's like my fave content creator. She actually uses this brush and that's how I bought it. I think so many people probably found it from her. I really do like it, but I actually feel like I always have to go back in with a beauty blender because the brush is has thin hairs and I feel like sometimes it gets streaky, so I always have to go back in with the beauty blender. Whereas this one, it doesn't get as streaky, which I really like because it's a little bit denser, so it kind of just pats everything in. Sometimes I will still go back in with the beauty blender just to make sure it looks clean, but I don't have to, which I really like. So there are some streaks, but actually I'm not gonna go back in yet. I'm gonna do concealer first, and I know it's all gonna blend out when I do my concealer. Okay, so my two go-to concealers are the Kosas concealer and the Hourglass concealer. I have the Kosas one in the shade 1 Neutral. I also have another one in the shade 2.5. I think C is, what is that? Cool? Yeah. And then I have the Hourglass one in the shade Silk, which this is a little bit yellow, and so is the 2.5 from Kosas. The 1 Neutral is actually perfect for me, so I actually really like to use this one under my eyes because I feel like it brightens up under my eyes the most. So I will just take it and I'll put it in the corner right here and then on the outer corner, and then I'll take it and I'll just do a line up my nose, and then I'll just switch over to my Hourglass one and I will do a little bit on my forehead because I don't need my forehead to be super bright, and then I'll sometimes add a little bit here, and then I'll add some here and some here. And I like to let my concealer sit, so while that sits I'm going to apply contour. I have 3 contour products that I reach towards frequently. I love the Rare Beauty bronzer stick. This is in the shade Happy Soul, and I love this one. I'm actually going to use this one today, but I also have the Milk Makeup one, which is in the shade Baked. Love this. It's this little one. I've had it for a while. And then I actually also love this one from She Glam, which is this little dot one. It's so cool. just dots on your face. And I actually like wearing this one to work because it's just very easy to blend. So if I'm rushing, I can just blend it out super fast, and it's also not too heavy, so it feels nice. And that's kind of the same thing with like the Charlotte Tilbury contour wand. I don't love it because I literally lost all the product because it leaked. I don't really like the packaging. However, I like that it's very blendable and it's easy to put on. So sometimes I'll reach towards that one too, but my favorite is definitely this Rare Beauty one. So I'm just taking a little bit right here, here, here. And then I'll just take the other end of my cosmetics brush and just take a little bit here and start on my nose, blend into my crease of my eye, trying not to get the concealer because I don't really want to mix the two together. Now, I typically do like to blend out my concealer with a brush. I like this one from Sephora. It's number 71. It's a concealer brush. However, when I'm rushing to work, actually blending with a brush for concealer I think takes a little bit longer because I have to be very precise. So if I'm rushing, I'll just use a beauty blender. It's a lot easier to do. But since I have time today, we're going to blend out with a brush. And as you can tell, I just start to pat it into my skin first, and then I'll kind of start blending while still patting. And I won't even fully blend it out because I'm still going to go back in with the beauty blender, so it's not really a big deal. And I blend the under eye concealer into my eyelid. Okay, I'm going back in with my beauty blender. Typically I'll actually blend out the contour first, but because I had already let the concealer sit for a while talking to you guys, I didn't want to let it sit for too long where I wouldn't be able to blend it anymore. All right, I'm actually going to leave my nose concealer for a second and finish blending out the contour just with this brush. And as you can tell, I'm just kind of pressing it into my skin. It blends out so beautifully. I'm obsessed. And my nose, I'm just going to use a beauty blender, blend this all in, and then blend out the sides, blend out all the rest of the contour. I'm gonna just go over my entire face with the beauty blender just to make sure it's all evenly patted in to my skin. Okay, time for blush, which is my favorite step. Okay, so now the brow gel should be dried down, so I'm gonna finish up my brows. I'm just gonna go in with the NYX brow pen, which I love so much, but I also feel like this shade is not like my perfect shade. It's a little bit like reddish, so I need to like look around for a different one. But I'm basically just brushing the hairs in the direction I have them, you know, gelled in. And I'm just filling in the little sparse areas that I feel like need a little bit more color. And I do this very light-handed, but this is actually very easy to use because it doesn't come out too dark. It's not like a pomade, you know, but still be light-handed with it. All right. Now I'm going to take a little bit of my xoxo concealer on the back of my hand and just take this thin concealer brush and just conceal my brows underneath. Okay, now it's time for my favorite step, which is blush. I have a bunch of blushes I love. My favorite blush is the Rare Beauty blush in the shade Happy. I'm gonna actually use that today. But I also really love the She Glam blushes. I have so many shades because they sent me stuff. But the two in specific that I've been using is Love Cake and Risky Business. So Love Cake is like this shade of pink and it just dots on. I love the way it applies. It's so nice. And then this is like a deeper pink. I actually think I'm gonna use this She Glam one, the Love Cake one, because I want to show you how it applies, and I also want to show you the brush from She Glam. It's basically their brush that's supposed to go and blend out these blushes, so I really like those. So I'm just going to apply 3 dots right here, and like look how perfect these dots are. I'm just taking the brush and basically patting into my skin and blending upward, but I also like a little bit like kind of close to my under eyes because I feel like it just looks cute. And doing the other side, and whatever is left on my brush I will just go over my nose a little and just kind of blend everything together. All right guys, I look super blushed, but it's all gonna work out when I like put on powder and stuff. But before I put on any powder, I'm actually going to set my face with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Setting Spray. This is my all-time favorite setting spray. I will forever repurchase this. It's freaking amazing. It's definitely not cheap. I have some other options I can show you. If you have the Urban Decay All Nighter, this one is great too. I was using the Morphe one for a while, but I just realized it doesn't really do much. But then this one from Milani, the Make It Last one, it is so good. This is the original one and it has a natural finish. It's supposed to have 16-hour wear. It is so good. So I would say either this or the Charlotte Tilbury one, whichever one you want to get, or the All Nighter one is great too. Okay, so I'm just kind of fanning my face a little bit. I want to get one of those cute fans to like do while I do my makeup, but I need to make sure it's fully dry before I go in with any powder products, so that's what I'm doing. While I'm waiting, I'm actually going to clean off my lips a little because we are gonna do lippies. All right guys, the setting spray has fully dried down, so now we're going to go in with one of my favorite powders in the whole entire world. This is the xoxo powder. The only thing is it did break, and so did my bronzer from xoxo, which sucks, but this is their cloud set powder in the shade Breezy, and I'm just going to use this little powder puff triangle one from Amazon, rub it in here, and just pat this into my skin. And look at the difference between the side without powder and with powder. It literally just gives this sheer clean finish while not like taking away the glow too much. Like, it definitely does take away the glow, but once I put setting spray, it will come back. Like, it's not like completely taking it away. I'm just blurring my skin with this powder. So this is actually a new step I like. I saw on TikTok somewhere to do like pressed powder and then bake on top to like really get your makeup to stay. So I'm using the one size powder, and I'm just using this Real Techniques beauty blender because it has a flat side, which I like, and I'm just pressing this into my under eyes. And I actually didn't like the one size powder for a while, but I think I like how it works a lot better over another like pressed powder rather than over cream products. And I'm just gonna bake for like 30 seconds, nothing too crazy. While I'm baking, I'm gonna go in with bronzer. This is the Thrive Cosmetics bronzer in the shade Rhea. It's their Sun Chaser one, and I'm just taking this Real Techniques brush. This is their, it's actually a blush brush, but it's so big and fluffy. I feel like it's good for like bronzing up the face. So I'm just bronzing the outside of my face, my forehead, of course blending into my hairline, and then just kind of coming over here and the sides, just getting these good down my neck with some bronzer, which right now my neck looks super pale, but I swear it doesn't look as bad as it does on camera as it does in person. Now that I'm done with the bronzer, I'm going to wipe off the setting powder with this Real Techniques brush, and I'm just kind of patting into the skin while wiping it off. And now I'm taking this palette from Iconic London. It is their Blaze Chaser Face Palette, and there's this gorgeous blush shade in it right here. I don't know what the shade is called, but I'm just using that. And I'm taking this blush brush from Ulta Beauty, and I'm just going to put this blush on and just blend it up into my temples, kind of blend it over my eye, and then a little on my nose, of course. Then I'll just kind of do a little smirk so I can make the apples of my cheeks nice and rosy. And those are the powder products. Now I'm going to spray my face again with the Charlotte Tilbury. And I'm gonna let that dry, but I'm gonna put highlight on when it's like almost dry but not fully dry. And for highlight, I'm gonna be using the highlighter in the Iconic London palette up here, and just like a Morphe brush, wherever it is, I have to find it. It's this brush from Morphe. It's their M451 brush. So I'm just gonna let it dry a little bit more before I apply it, because I don't want it to like look patchy at all, but I also want my face to be a little damp, so it kind of like is a little brighter. But I'm gonna put it on my nose because my nose is dry. So just a little point on my nose, and then very light-handed go up here. I need to let this side dry a little bit more. My brow bone and this side. Now it's time for eyes, and like I said, I'm not doing any eye makeup, but we are gonna do mascara. And when I go out, I do like to wear lashes, but on a regular day, I will not wear lashes. So my mascara routine, I will curl my lashes. This curler is from Araceli. I got it in an Ipsy bag. And then I will go in with two mascaras. I'll first go in with my Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Lash Extensions. This one is pretty dried out though, and I do have another one, but it's in the brown shade, not black shade, so I haven't really been using it. But then I would always go over it with my Il Makiage mascara, and I love this one. It's just so good, but because this is dried out, there's just no point of even using it. So right now I'm just going to curl them and go in with the Il Makiage one. So a trick I saw on TikTok was actually to take a lighter and light your eyelash curler and make it warm and then curl them, and I've tried it a few times before and it actually does make a difference, but I definitely don't do it every time because that's a lot of work and I'm scared I'm going to start a fire. So as I do my lashes, I have very short lashes, so I kind of like turn the brush as I put mascara on so that I'm like curling them upwards. I'm like sitting on my foot right now and I'm falling asleep. I'm falling asleep. It's falling asleep. Like, I'm really taking my time. I'll even like go in the corners, and now I'm just doing my lower lashes. I try to keep it pretty light on my lower, and I'm just gonna do the other eye really quick off camera. All right, mascara is on, and now it's time for lips. I actually discovered this lip combo last week, and I definitely don't do lips every day. Typically I'll just like wear a lip balm or lip gloss, but I'm actually going to be using a lip liner from She Glam. This is in the shade 4, and it's just this gorgeous lip liner, and I love it. So I actually don't overline my lips. I just kind of go along. The She Glam lip liners are so creamy. They just blend so nice. I do have the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, which I love and I know everyone loves, but I just don't feel like their lip liners are that blendable. But I like a lip liner that just glides right on. So now I'm just going to go over that with the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the shade Stockholm. And I just kind of start pressing it in, and it kind of gives it this like ombre effect. And then sometimes I'll go over with like a lip gloss or something. I really like how this Maybelline Lifter Gloss looks with it. This is in the shade Stone, and I'll usually just take a little bit of this in the middle, just kind of work it in because it matches. And this is what it looks like. This is actually the finished makeup look. I really hope you guys like how it turned out. I like how it turned out, and I hope that I gave like plenty of detail where you guys actually were able to like sit down and pick up on this, because I get so many questions about my makeup routine when I post it on TikTok or even on YouTube, and I wanted to finally like share an in-depth version with you guys where I can literally explain step by step what I do, how I do it, all that good stuff. So I really hope this was helpful for you guys. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Usually whenever I do my makeup, it's like more chit-chatty, so I'm glad I was able to like give y'all the rundown. But I hope you all have been enjoying a Vlogmas. If you've been enjoying my Vlogmas videos, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. I love you all so much, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys.